GingerGM.
Like and subscribe to this gibbering mess of a chess player, which is me. And let's crush some people. And we're playing against Mohmad. And interesting decision there. My opponent getting rid of his light square bishop, which is a bad piece because it's generally stuck behind these pawns. I'm now wondering if I should play f5 and try to break out, or whether we even go for b5. Let's go for b5 because he might castle that way. And I also want to maybe get my knight into c4 here. This seems like quite an interesting position. I'll give him a cheeky check because it probably helps getting rid of the dark square bishops. And now the knight comes round. I'm kind of quite happy with this position. My opponent does have more space with his pawn structure, but my pieces seem to be quite good here. I might struggle to break out somehow though, so maybe my only pawn break is the c6 one. Okay, what do we do next then? So, you know, if I go here, he comes back. He might better get a draw that way. Do we push on? Then his knight probably gets to a better square. This move, well, I need to prepare that. So let's move the bishop here so I can prepare the opening of the center. And of course, we don't want to exchange queens here. If I go back here, then h4 comes. So we might have to bring it all the way back. So I really want to keep the queens on the board. Much more interesting that way. Probably exchanging queens is all right, but yeah, the next thing is to loosen up this bishop. It's not a good piece, so I need to try and break with as many pawn moves as I can to free up its basically reign of power. Now we could go here, but let's get rid of the knight first, which is defending that square, and then we're going to try to go d5 and open up that bishop even more that way. Looks like this is a very, very thematic way to play. You see this kind of idea often in the Sicilian of opening up the pieces like this. And now there's many options actually, but we'll stick with the most sensible. And my position looks pretty good here, but my opponent's also probably not in too bad a shape as well. Okay, now the point of this idea is if we have an exchange, I open up a line of attack towards the king, and we see how my bishops become much better from these pawn breaks. Now it's actually a pretty phenomenal piece. So that's what you've got to do, your bishies. You've got to open up your bishies, get your bishops working. Now we might even get the bishop working over here, because that would get rid of the knight and keep my opponent's king stuck in the middle. If he goes here, then I think we just... I played that a little bit too quickly because I've allowed this knight to come in. I suppose queen b7 is an okay square. I don't want to come forwards because of rook here. And a little trick I have, knight takes knight's a bit annoying. If he castles, knight h3 wins the queen. So I've allowed him to castle now, which is I shouldn't have done this. This is a bit annoying. I should have kept his king trapped in the center somehow. And he's probably okay now. Now that he's got his king safe. He's got to think where the knight's best placed. I'd probably just throw it in. And what do we think of the position? I don't know. His rooks are very good. He can put a rook here and a rook here. So I'm kind of thinking like, yeah, I've let this one slip. But he's having a good think here. He goes for a check. A little bit surprised by that. His idea is assuming to come here after g5 and cause some mischief like that. This check, I think I can take. So this is the big move. So we want to stop that one. And his queen is quite annoying. I mean, do I even exchange queens in this position? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll move this rook because then it gives me the option potentially of going queen a7 if I want to exchange queens. I know I didn't want to exchange queens earlier, but shit is changing. And now this check is... it's getting a bit uncomfortable, actually. F6 here. Then rook comes here. Then I take. And then go, okay. A little bit uncomfortable. My king seems a little bit loose now. So I really have to concentrate here. And if I take here, shit, he's got queen here, checkmate. Fuck a duck. Oh, Simon. Why are you so shit? Here, can I... Taking that looks suicidal, doesn't it? Because of this one. So, oh man, this is horrendous. What have I done? Why did I play that last fucking move? Bad start, man. Take here, I lose my rook. Or do I? Okay, I'm going to have to do this. Everything else is terrible. I'm sure this is mate. Check here, knight f5. It's all horrible. I'm hoping he will just take my rook when I might have this check, but he's not. He's just going to mate me. Bastard. And now it's horrible. Or winning the exchange is game over as well. This one, he comes back with the rook. And my king is all over the shop here. Didn't see any other way of playing this though. So he's playing it very well at the same time. And I'm not. This is a horrible game. Oh dear, what a fucking start. Jesus Christ. Excuse me for my swearing. But that was bad. I mean, I let his queen become far too active there. Why did I play so badly in the first round? We're doing the Swiss Gambit, losing the first round and trying to win the other ones or some shit like that. No, we're not. We just played a bad game. Okay, so let's have a look at the game review. See how well my opponent played. Yeah, he played very well, I think. And my position was lovely around here. And I just started again. When I let him castle, that was a big mistake, wasn't it? So I really had a grand position. But then I put my queen on this stupid square, which allowed him to get this tempo. And then he can free up his position. Because the whole point is he can't take the knight because I attack his knight. So it's just this one little move where I wasn't really thinking, I admit, which changed everything. If I put the queen here, he's in real problems here because he takes my knight, I take back, and then I'm going to get a rook check in. I keep his king trapped in the middle. He can't castle because of knight h3. So just this simple difference of where you put the queen, it makes a massive difference to the game. And I started to play very badly around here, but I think this is where I started to realise that he's probably better. And this knight h6 was a very good move. I mean, but I didn't want to allow this knight to stay here. I probably should allow the knight to stay there, but the knight is so strong. And this check was very good. And now I've got all these problems with my king. So I guess I must try and swap queens off here because his queen was just too strong. Queen and knight coordinate very well. I try to be clever, but he plays another great move, and now I'm just losing. So it's a cruel game, chess. It changes very quickly. I can't stop his queen coming here. This move, horrendous. But like, what else can I do now? I've just literally got a lost position in a matter of not blunders, but inaccurate moves. And my idea of going queen a7, I can never play because he just takes my queen and then he takes my rook. And if I take his rook first, with the idea of going queen a7, I realised he can play check. And again, I'm completely busted here. So that was kind of disappointing to do that. There's no point hiding names now, is there? Because, like, you know, hide my own name. Can I just hide my face? Just put a bag over my face and just, like, pretend that didn't happen. So we lost the first game in this early title Tuesday. And we're going to have to now sort our shit out. And here we have the list of players. And according to Kramnik, cheat. This guy he loves because he's Russian, so obviously he's not going to call him a cheat. But I think everyone else is a cheat. I mean, according to Kramnik. But the big question is he now validated because of this latest story on chess.com? with Kirill, who he accused of cheating a couple of weeks ago, apparently has been caught with a phone cheating in the toilet at a chess tournament.
Sometimes in chess, there are games that are more slicker than greased weasel poo on a doorknob. And this is one of those games. On a doorknob, on a doorknob, on a doorknob, on a doorknob, on a doorknob. Slicker than greased weasel poo.
So many people cheating. You know, you accuse like everyone of cheating. Then, yeah, you look right when maybe one of the stories has a bit of backing. But what about all those other people you accused? I mean, it's like it just seems like it doesn't, for me, validate his point of view at all. But we'll have to wait and see more on that story, I think. And let's now just try to play a little bit better. So that first game was disappointing, so I'll get out of this focus mode as well, because I thought that's what you do. You put it on focus mode, and that doesn't show the name of your opponent. But maybe there's something else I need to do, which I'm clearly not. I'm too stupid to work out at the moment. So next Title Tuesday, we'll give that a go. Not a very inspiring opening, I have to say. My opponent should be equal here quite easily because he's got his bishop outside the pawn chain. Don't see any reason I should have an advantage here with the white pieces. I might even have to give this bishop up. And I can double his pawns, but that gives him quite a nice line to attack on there. So I'm not even that keen on doing that. So let's get rid of this bishop. It'd be much better for me if his bishop was over there, but it's not. And I guess this is a key square, so you've always got to have some kind of plan. And rather than taking this knight, which I only do if he castles, let's go for that key square. Now in this position, if I take pawn takes, where does my knight go? Doesn't have a particularly great square, so I'm going to move my knight here, but then he gets the bishop pair, so maybe I have to take this one. And too many pieces are really getting exchanged off here for my liking, so we won't try this opening again. The trompe does all right sometimes, but these boring lines I think are the way that black should play, and my opponent again has played very well here. Made an interesting decision there, not taking my bishop, and I'm quite happy about that, because this bishop I think will have quite good potential. Like I can come to c2 and create some threats on this diagonal. Now that is most likely going to be my next plan, just reroute it here, and this move means that g6 is harder for him to play, so he might have to play f5, and that will leave him with an e6 weakness. So some plan of going rook here. Now why can't I take that one as well? I don't see a reason why I can't take that, because I've got queen e2. And a pawn is a pawn. This is the standard minority attack, but surely my opponent needed to pair it a bit better than this. And the other thing I can do now the idea of attacking his king side is not relevant, because I'm a pawn up. I don't need to have any other advantage. I can just try to go c4 and open up my bishop, like I did so well in that last game, until I played like an absolute moron. Okay. So he's moving his knight in here. Little bit of compensation, I suppose. I'd much rather this bishop wasn't on this square, but we can't always have what we want. So if we're going to have to just defend against this intrusion and try to, I think, maneuver this guy around. So okay, so he's putting his pieces on what looks like okay squares, and this is a bit annoying. Okay, let's defend those pawns. It is an extra pawn, but what am I doing? Okay, throws a check in. He can exchange off. I don't mind that. That's absolutely fine in my eyes. Do we go here? Why not? And now his knight's going to come in with tempo. And it's strange, he blunders this pawn, but was it a brilliant sacrifice to get pressure against my position? I thought he might wanted to keep his queen coming there, but he certainly has some pressure. Okay, so I'm going to now try to get rid of this knight, because the knight is strong. Or just get my bishop away from looking at this pointless pawn. I'm still thinking of getting it on this diagonal, even though I'm not sure what that achieves. And even if I take here, he gets this pressure on these two files. So he's played this well since, I say blundering the pawn. Maybe what he was doing was just very clever. Okay, so he's keeping his knight alive. And I get my bishop to a more central square. So at least if his knight comes in, I can eliminate the knight. Now I think I want my queen to do something. Could try coming over here. Could try that, but I'll keep it more central. It seems more sensible. And now let's try to use these extra pawns finally. So queen e5 and c4. Got to use your extra pawns. Okay, so now queen e5 I like, because if he doesn't take, I'm going to double his pawns and get rid of that knight. I didn't want to take there first of all, because it wouldn't cause any damage. And if the queens come off, again, maybe I assume it makes my position a bit easier. Okay, so the queens do come off. So what's he trying to do next? Knight here. So pawn here, knight here. But then I take on d5. So we're going to have mass exchanges. And then can I defend against this one? Or we're not. Well, this is one way, but this is even more attractive. And now I'm sure we've got a winning position. We got the extra pawn, but we got our rook behind the passed pawn. And that is a pretty phenomenal way to do it. I don't know, I could have come in this way as well. I'm not sure which is better. I will take the open file. Now my pawn is defended. And this should be, I say, fairly straightforward. I want to stop this one. Do we go here? It's a little bit risky because now I'm giving myself a weakness on g3. Let's use that pass pawn. I'm not playing this as well as I would like. And now we don't want his rook coming and checking. So how do we make progress? Okay, let's attack that pawn and maybe just go this way. Let's try this. His king's come active here, but then I come here. Again, I'm playing this pretty badly. Jesus, I am, aren't I? Just check if he takes. Fuck. What am I doing here, guys? Well, I've got this passed pawn, so I'm just going to have to shove it now. Should still be good. He's got to try and take another pawn. Okay, so he's coming here. Do I? No? Okay, let's take. Probably a draw. Ah, dear Williams. What are you doing with your life? Let's check. Come here. Oh, is this a draw? I don't know. Again, I played that horrendously bad, but we won, so who gives a damn? Who gives a damn? I guess he was thinking if rook here, getting behind the pawn, that I can now play check and come here. This is probably winning, because now my a pawn comes. But I think it's probably a draw now, because he plays this first. Now here, I think he can just come back this way. And the idea is to give the rook up for this pawn, and he gets enough compensation with this one. Probably a draw. So not that smooth. And after he lost that pawn, he actually played pretty well, didn't he? And it was like, I didn't really like that game, I have to say. It wasn't like very fun. You know, it was quite sensible chess. I was always under a little bit of pressure. I think this is a mistake. He's got it. He should get. I still like my bishop in these positions. It was interesting, but this move, yeah, he just got a lot of pressure. This knight move was good, and it wasn't easy to convert this one. 50%. We'll take it. We will take it. Take it. Oh, right. I think we've got to do a bit more mating here, as in the chessboard mating. You probably don't want to see me mating. That's not for the chess site. Other sites. And yeah, we got to try. Let's get a bit more aggressive, right? Let's try to kill. None of this flapping about positional chess, playing for minority attacks. Oh, I see a weak square. I will go for that weak square. I'll reroute my bishop 100 times, trying to win an ending, a pawn up. Who the hell wants that crap? Let's have some violence. We want some blood flowing like the rivers of Rome over the board into the aisles. I want those spectators to slip on the blood of my opponents as they try to walk down the aisles of death. That's what I want. So next game, violence is called for. Right. Let's start with this violent move, e4. This is normally a violent move. What on earth is that flag? Anyone know? Kaz. Okay, I can't even say that. Kazakhstan. I'm sure I can say that, but I don't know how. Okay, what do we? I always struggle against this move, so let's just play this because it looks like, you know, this can lead to fun, but I hate it when they go g6 here. G6 is like what the boring people play, and that's what I play as black. So I've just called myself boring. I've been called a lot of things in my life. A lot. Everything under the sun. But never boring. So that is probably a good thing. Okay, well, he's taken the pawn like the brave warrior of Kazakhstan. Was it Kazakhstan? Somewhere over there. That he may well be. Ruslan the Destroyer. But now I get this idea, first of all, of plonking, taking on g7. So we've got a gambit on the board, boys and girls. Bring on the Psycho Cowboy. And I actually used this variation, Can You Adam and Eve It, to get my first Grandmaster norm. I was playing the British Championships in a year. I can't remember years. Time is irrelevant. All blends into one, doesn't it? And I was playing Ketty Arakamuria Grant, and I think I had this position on the board, and I managed to win, even though I was losing the game. And it's very interesting, I think, this position. I'm a pawn down, but I love having a pawn on e5 because it does a lot of blocking, and it's a great basis for an attack. Now, do we come over here? Do we? We do. Let's do it because we want to bring the boys over. The boys are back in town. And then we want to just develop like this and hope my opponent castles and basically just give up everything over there, give checkmate and celebrate. Now, my opponent has a cheeky little idea up his sleeve. Probably a good move. Now, do I take here, freeing up his pieces, getting rid of my pawn, or do I not? To take or not to take? What would be the question, dear Hamlet? Taking looks kind of cool, but dangerous, because he's going to play e5 and open up his pieces. Now, I don't want to get mated here, so I suggest I develop. I could have maybe whipped that one off like an absolute Looney Tune. And now we've got havoc at the board. Maybe he can play e5 now, because if I take, does that do anything? I don't know. You've got e4. I don't know what the hell's going on. I have no idea. Do I have this one? I don't know. Do I have... I want to get castled here. He wants to get castled, but he can't. Well, do I have this one? No. This is the problem. I don't. Now this is looking a little bit more juicy. And I probably want to do this before he castles. Very confusing. Or do I just give this guy up and not get... Yeah, Fuck it. This is the fuck it gambit. I'm doing this so he can't put something here. I don't care. This bishop is surely worth a rook. This is what the psycho cowboy would do. He would not flaff about. He would come with his bishops and his pieces. He would destroy. I destroy you. God knows what that is. But he's now going to castle this way. Basteroid. Okay, well that was the end of my fun, which lasted not long. Not long enough, really, was it? He's going to castle, the bastard. Takes castles. Hate it when they castle. Okay, well what else do I do? I don't know. Are rooks better than bishops? This is what we're going to find out. Well, I have to keep attacking. I don't really believe this, but monkey says monkey do. And can he now go here? No, because I take the knight. So it's still a bit of a mess. Even though I'm the exchange down, this bishop is actually worth more than a rook at the moment. And I think rooks, rooks are just for endings. When else is a rook useful? A rook is overrated. It's well overrated, like a lot of things in life. A rook. Okay, so I have to take there. Now, if I take, he comes here, right? Okay, but what else do? I have to take it. Rooks are overrated. We prefer bishops. And now this one is on pre. This one is an option. Is he going to go rook here and do something clever? It's complicated, isn't it? It's kind of what I asked for, though. Do we go here and just, like... Okay, takes, rook here. Takes. Can't see an option there. I can't see an option. So, do I play... No, I don't want to lose this guy. Am I worried about d2? I'm not really worried about that. The knight feels better here. So, let's put the knight here. If he takes there, at least I can take on f7 then. And his knight's a little bit loose. Okay, well, this way I'm definitely coming in, like Mr. Flynn, and losing something, probably, maybe. What is this move? This move, he played this a bit too quick for my liking. Okay, can I come here? What is happening? Okay, I have to take that. I don't know what's happening. Don't want to swap the queens off, do I? Fuck my time. I'll shut up now. I'm talking too much. Stop playing good moves, you bastards. Good move. Fuck my time. I was going to say fuck my life, but it's not that bad yet. Nearly that bad. Yes, alright. Stop chasing me. Okay, two can play that game. Two can play that game, my game. This is rather intense. Oh, look at this knight. This knight is a killer. Oh, we love that knight. I told you, rooks, they're fucking useless. Excuse my French. If you are a kid, I apologise. Do not speak like me. I speak like trash sometimes. When I get excited, it's not good. It's not the way to speak. I can't help myself. Just like, if you are a parent of a kid and you're like, who is this piece of trash talking like this? I can't let my kids watch this video. I'm sorry. You know, I just get emotional and I let those emotions out, you know. It really, you know, it's just life. But anyway, let's not talk about that anymore. The knight, see, look at that knight. That was good. What a smooth game. That was as smooth as sandpaper, wasn't it? That was just like sandpaper smooth. Look at this knight, though. I love it. I told you, as soon as he moves his rook up the board, look, he moves his rook up the board. Look at it. He just moves it. Rooks, they're rubbish. And he loses it. And here, look at this. The knight's going to take his queen next. What a sexy knight. I mean, that game was just really complicated, wasn't it? But it puts us in 2 out of 3. And yeah, okay, it was a little bit a downhill spiral there. Very good album, that, as I think I've mentioned before. And then it's bang, we're up there. So we're like, he gradually outplays us, plays brilliantly, and then it's like, yeah, the time gets a little bit short, and we're able to, like, you know, complicate things basically, and that kind of saved us there. Poof. Okay, 2 out of 3. I got my gambit out of the way. That little bit of blood on the streets, a little bit of violence. I can calm down, can chill out a little bit, maybe just relax and take some deep breaths, suck in the oxygen in this stuffy room. I need to get some plants or something, don't I? But I don't think they'd thrive in this room, you know. Need to, like, get a plant attached to my nose so I can get the oxygen. Maybe an oxygen mask is a better idea. And let's see, who else is doing what in Title Tuesday at this moment in time? And do we have any other games going on? It's round 3. We are back in the mix now on 2 out of 3. Win the next one, 3 out of 4. Not too shabby. We can be all right with that. And this is obviously a draw, but Yang is going to try to win on time, even though you get 1 second to move. And okay, well done, Yang. You agreed to the draw. Gentleman behaviour. And that position looks quite good for Electroloid. And we are now playing Argentina. Ilan, who looks, oh dear, he looks like a baby. Don't like playing babies because they're normally just like babies now. They're the new Kasparovs, aren't they? You know, you see a picture of a. I mean, I mean, I don't think you can do this on Lee Chess, but Lee Chess is a great site as well. I mean, like, I would just put a picture of a baby up there as my avatar, because it's more scary than like a demon or like you know, heroic, you know, or like Conan the Barbarian. Just put a bloody baby up there. Your opponent probably thinks you're like 2 years old. He's gonna poo his pants, isn't he? It's clear as day. Now, this position, how is it? Now, do we take here and try to create some chaos immediately in the center, or so takes, knight takes? I need a good follow up there. Right, knight here, and I attack these 2 pawns. Let's try it. Let's open things up. This line that my young opponent is playing is very trendy nowadays. This rook g1 and here. This is what a lot of the higher rated players seem to be doing. Now I go here, but I'm not trying to take that pawn, am I? Here I take. No, because I've got rookie. Okay, let's try this, but you can castle. Not a very good move, this one. Don't like it. I guess this is not a horrendous square. But I think he can just castle now. Take, check. Fuck. Queen here, takes here. I don't have a move there. His knight's defended by the queen. If he goes here, I can take, check, here, take, rook e8, winning his queen. But castling is annoying. And taking this pawn is very dangerous. Okay, so he's gone this way. And in general, I'm quite happy to see this because this guy is like, yeah, okay, let's have some fun. Probably worth exchanging queens because I'm going to misplace his knight, and it gives me this square for my knight. And I kind of like this. Because this is what we call el bisto. And now I don't want to allow this one in, so we'll just play this quickly. And we're trying to use these bishops. So 1 bishop here. Could have played that last move maybe. And use the open file. I'm hoping this guy will be a star. Maybe it should even come into this square immediately. But I don't think there's any reason to do that now. Let's develop. Get my guys working. But remember, this is an option if needed. A4 seems a bit weird. Was I really going to go B5? Maybe. The kid sees more than me. And how strong is this move? Should I have played this move, actually? Because if he'd have gone here, I had bishop h3. Yeah, maybe I should have done that. Okay, but I'm going to keep playing what look like quite logical moves. And I've got this pressure on the f-file if he captures. And at the moment, rook takes d2 is lurking, because then I take tactics, basically. If he takes here, then I get this kind of pressure, even though my pawn's a bit wonky, but double pawns can be quite good. And these double pawns I like, because if you have double pawns and they control central squares, well, you should be happy, shouldn't you? So this is a good position for me, I feel. Now, is there any tactics with this one? Not that I can see. It feels like this should be a good move here, though. Now, taking here, I don't know. Like here, knight takes. Any tactics there? No. Taking here kind of looks all right, interesting for some reason. But no, let's move this guy. It gives me an option of taking with a knight here and coming in here. It gives me the option of taking, coming to e2. This is an immediate threat. Bishop takes here. So he stops the threat. Now this is the move I really want to play, but can't get in at the moment. Now, is it time to now move the bishop here? Let's do it. It's always a move that causes my opponent some issues. Now this is again a big decision. I'm going to take with a knight because I hit 2 pawns and my knight is very nicely centralized, but taking with a pawn also had a lot of good value to it. But I'm just trying to win a pawn now. My knight defends everything, nicely situated, and I will grab that pawn. Thank you. Cheers. And here, let's get the bishop back. So we've grabbed the pawn for our troubles. Is it going to be enough to convert? I don't know. Still a lot of work to do. I'm quite nicely situated so far. Bring the king into the center, get out of the way of any annoying checks. b5, don't know if that helps or not. So this move is kind of annoying. So let's take the opportunity to cause some problems with the knight. Give him a chance to put the rook on a bad square. Now we should, in theory, be happy to exchange. We still have that extra pawn. Now, yeah, this is still not so clear because, okay, I have to keep my knight centralized, but e5 I feel is a move that's annoying. Now, do we go b5? Then, okay, let's play it. Keep some pressure up. Maybe king d6 was also an option, but the way you play against knights generally, is he going to go? No, he can't go there, so let's go here. Generally, you want to try to restrict their squares with your pawns. But this check and knight f6 is the one thing that kind of like keeps me on the edge here. Okay, I'm going to have to eliminate that one. It's too strong. Now, is knight here something I should be worried about? I don't think so. And if check, I come here, but I need to get a passed pawn. So let's prepare the idea of g5. Now, the king comes in. Now, I could go here, but his knight's going to come back. Now, g5. Do we play this now? I don't know. I kind of like h5, keeping things under control. Oh, shit. He's going to be much quicker than me, this kid, isn't he? So I've got to keep playing quick. Oh, fuck. I knew there was something wrong with that bloody move, you muppet. Man, why did I do that? Played this so badly. But it still looks great. Got so many pawns here. Look at them. Look at them go. Go, baby, go. Go, baby, go. And you know, one thing with kids is they never know when to resign. So there you go. Come on. That was smooth. I like a smooth game. It is. It's literally the Greek Gambit. We've done it. Or the Swiss Gambit. Well, I don't know what the Greek Gambit's saying else, isn't it? The Swiss Gambit's where you lose the first round because you give all your opponents a chance because you're such a bloody legend. you know you're better than everyone out there, including Hikaru. So you give them a chance, and then you win every other game. The Swiss Gambit. I don't know why it's a Swiss Gambit, or what the origin of that saying is. But we moved to 3 out of 4, and I think that game was pretty. That was the best game we played so far. Does the computer agree? It kind of agrees. It says it got back to equality there after we slowly took the youngster down a peg or two. It says, "Oh, I made a mistake." Yeah, we did. This was we knew this was a bad move, right? Around here. G5, it says, is actually not a bad move, but what should I do now? Knight here, of course. Why didn't I go knight f4? This is where I freaked out, because I just saw this idea, and I thought, oh my god, but if I go knight f4, I can take the pawn like this, and of course I'm just winning. I started to play like a bad player, and now we have a key choice. I think the computer's giving this move. Now, what is this ending like? I'm a little bit worried here because he's got this pawn. I know I'm a pawn up, but the outside pass pawn counts for a lot. And something like this, I'd be a bit scared. I go like here, but I don't know. This looks a bit scary. Here, e5. Now a6. This is really hard to work out. This is the one line that my opponent needed to play. He needed to swap knights, which I assume he didn't do because obviously he's a pawn down. But he's going to be some talent, that kid. It's always good to beat the babies when they're young, because when they get old, they become 2800s, don't they? Beat the babies when they're young. Smash those babies up. Sounds so wrong. On the chessboard, smash them up when they're young. That's what you got to do. This is what I did against Magnus Carlsen. I beat Magnus when he wasn't actually a baby, but he was quite young. I beat Bodhana at the British. So you've got to beat those babies when they're young. Smash them. Then you can always say when they become world champion, you could be like, well, I beat that world champion. It's a story to tell your kids. And then they'd be like, wow, you beat Magnus Carlsen. I'm like, yep. And then the follow-up question, if they ever ask it, is, when did you beat him? You've got to be like, can't remember. And if they say, what year? You don't know. And they say, how old was he? No idea. And then they'll be like, wow, you're such a legend. Ta-da, you should be the world champion. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm going to pause it at my end for a second. We're on 3 out of 4. We're going to come into the second third of Title Tuesday. And let's do some of this coming up. We need a bit more of this.
Mate, fucker. Mate the 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 fucker.
Coming out soon on my record label, Ginger Underground Chess Rockers. Sounds absolutely terrible. Okie doke, so we're into the second part, and we've got a player from Poland who I'm just trying to pronounce his name, and I apologise, I'm so good at butchering names. Zbigniew Pakleza. The joys of being dyslexic. That's what I'll blame it on anyway. I apologise to my opponent. I would love to know how to pronounce your name at some point. Obviously a very strong player. And we've got the London system. And I'm going to play this move, even though it's quite risky. I recommend Bishop d6 in my chessball course as a safer alternative. But this is what I'm playing, a risky alternative. And one of the reasons I'm doing this is with the knight here, potentially the idea is c4 and knight here is not as strong. That's my way of figuring. And this system is quite interesting because you get this sort of sometimes a bit of an attack on the king side. You keep all the pieces on the board and you keep it like quite dynamic. You know, a lot of the other lines in this against the London system, well, let's be honest, it's quite blooming dull, isn't it? So this is the one move I really need to watch out for, and I was thinking then when I was saying that, can he play it? And he's trying to reroute his knight. Probably want to get rid of that knight. He beats me to the chase. And now I must start coming in the centre. So I must play this move, the standard Dutch move. And the way I generally try to play these positions is playing f4. But I'm going to play e4 here. I'll play f4 to try to kill this bishop. And again, this is the move to watch out for. But let's keep pushing. f4, still going for this idea. We want to get kingside attacking. This move, again, c5, probably a good move. Shit, I didn't realise that he's got this check here. I should have put king h8 here. Here, if I take this way, he's got check and he wins my bishop. If I take this way, he takes on c7. His bishop starts coming to life. So this move is a little bit scary with c6 coming. So I should have played this move first, because after c5 I could take here. There's no check. So I'm scared he's going to do this move. I probably have to take this way, and after takes, go rook c8 and hope that is okay. Okay, so he hasn't played it, so he's trying to... Well, I can now play f4, surely. Is he going to play this? But then I can take, right? So let's keep going. I'm defending this pawn. I can bring another rook in. Let's just attack. I block his bishop out. That was his one chance to I think, get the upper hand. Maybe get the upper hand. I don't know. Okay, now, obviously, this is a great square for the knight. Let's not think about any other option. This is why my pawn's here, to stop b4, and my bishop can now reroute. I'm starting to like the position, and obviously at this moment in time, Charlie the cat gets up. Hello, Charlie. You gonna come and say hello? And he wants to play bishop here if I play rook e8. So do we just keep coming, or do we play this? Some very tempting moves here to play, or do we go here? And then bishop here and keep the tension. Okay, I'm going to keep the tension. This is maybe a bit wimpish. One of these moves is probably better. But the idea is I want to play f3. I always regret it afterwards when I know I've done something a bit dodgy here. Okay, because now this is... I wanted to play... I should have played f3, just blasted his kingside open like I was doing earlier. Play like the cowboy. As soon as I stop being a cowboy, I become the cow. And no one wants to be the cow, because the cow gets eaten and the cowboy gets to eat the cow. Okay, anyway, let's become that cowboy again, not the cow. Be the cowboy, not the cow. Alright, so if he moves the knight, I'm going to be the cowboy. Whoosh, and I'm taking that bad boy without a second of... Well, I probably should think about it a little bit. I still got... Oh, now he plays it. He's just saying, come on then. You want to be the cowboy. Prove yourself. And now I'm like, don't know about that move, actually. Here, takes... Knight, okay. Now I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'm the cow. Maybe I'm the cow, not the cowboy, actually. Here. Okay, come on, in we go. Let's develop, play some sensible moves. I've got a great position. And now... Wow, why didn't I be a cowboy? Okay, we want to defend this one, but then he comes in. I'm playing like such a pussy. Okay, come on. I should have been a cowboy, not the cow. And I'm just trying to play this far too, like, cleverly, aren't I? Now I can take here and be the cowboy. Surely it's time to be the bloody cowboy. And then he takes there. Oh, okay, come on. Oh, let's do it. Let's take something. I'm getting annoyed with this play. Knight. I don't know why. It doesn't really help me that at all. And I didn't even realise. I've just kind of fallen apart here. What a miserable way I'm playing this. Oh, I thought I could take there. I literally played abysmal. Be the cowboy. This is what I've done wrong. I mean, there's still some minute attacking chances here, but why on earth did I start... Okay, stop thinking that way. Well, I suppose we might as well take some material back. Now, can I go here? It looks dodgy. But what else can I play? I don't see any other good options. And my king is just too exposed here. Now, I've got this one if he moves the bishop. I think... Boom! Boom! Okay, that starts to make my position look a little bit more juicy. Hold it together, Williams. Bring the pieces in. Checkmate. This is how... And not the cow. Check. Be the cowboy. And not the cow. Okay, what am I doing here? I'm being the cow. I'm coming backwards again. Like the wimp I am. What is this? Why am I start taking random crappy pawns? Okay. Never in doubt. Oh, what was that? I literally just blundered a piece there, but my opponent was a nice piece of steak for me there. That game was all over the shop. I played it pretty well, I think, to a certain point in time. The Swiss Gambit continues. We won the last 4 games. If we look at the graph there, I was playing quite nicely. Look, I was taking control, lovely, getting the attack going, woohoo, and then I started playing like an absolute idiot. So if we go to this point here, yeah, Queen D1. This is around the point where I knew I was doing well, but I played badly. Knight here. Of course I go knight there, because that guards my bishop. So if I put the knight here, rook takes, my bishop can come to d4. Of course I play that. This move is one of the worst moves when I play it. I don't play it here, but it's one of the worst moves you could even consider playing. What kind of Grandmaster plays that? I mean, the kind of Grandmaster who should be stripped of his title. Strip me of my Grandmaster title. Let me start from scratch again. Would I get the CM title? This is a good question that many chess philosophers have asked. If Simon wasn't a Grandmaster, would he ever become a CM? Good question. So we play here, and now after this rook c3, he's starting to plug some holes. I probably should go rook here. Why on earth did I not do that? I was worried about rook takes pawn, but I shouldn't be. And now I come up with this absolute nonsense. Not realising the queen moves 2 squares diagonally and then defending the bishop. I was so transfixed on playing this move around here, and I was so annoyed that I didn't play it. I should play that bloody move. And also here, push one of these pawns. Stop. Okay, bishop c8, the move I play, is actually the best move. So maybe you should be the cow and not the cowboy. Interesting decisions. And look at this, bishop h3. This is where I should be the cowboy. It's very hard to know when you should be the cow and when you should be the cowboy. I really don't know. I really just don't know. It's challenging, this. It's a challenge I'm not sure about. Cow or cowboy? This is the question. Right, okay, now another easy name to pronounce. They're just taking the piss now, aren't they? And again, I don't mean any disrespect to my opponents, but I am dyslexic and I am English, very badly educated. Mukhammadali Abdurakhmonov. I apologise to you, sir. I'm called Simon. Or idiot. Village idiot, you can call me. Okay, so if we're able to get something out of this game, we're going to be in a good position. So come on, we're on 4 out of 5. We could be on 5 out of 6. Now, I don't know any theory about this move, so thank God he didn't play it, because that move, frankly, looks quite scary with this coming in. I'm not so scared now, because he's got his knight here. Should I be still scared here? I'm not scared, because why am I not scared? Okay, I should probably be scared, because he has some ideas, and he's probably banging out theory. I have to stop this move. My pawn structure looks bad, and I'm probably going into some latest theoretical variation that everyone in Uzbekistan has studied incredibly deeply, but that doesn't worry me. Now this knight, I want to come here for some reason. Why didn't I go queen here? That would have been better. Here, takes, f6. Can I get that to work with queen c2? Really tempted to play that. Oh, are you the cow? Are you the cowboy? I'm the cowboy. In we go. Let's not play like a cow and come back. We know we're going to have to sacrifice a piece after f6. We're going to have to come here. But we are the cowboy. Do. So here, my idea is queen c2. He takes. I come in here, check. He comes, and then we just like develop and we attack. So my other idea is to bring the bishop out, castle, and just sack, attack. So my opponent plays a very sensible move and comes here. That's annoying. Why does he have to be sensible? I thought we were playing unsensible chess here. Now, king here. Yeah, now this move's become stronger. So, what are we doing? I'm going to have to allow him to take this, I feel. Can we get compensation and avoid getting mated? Because he takes here, he takes here. It's getting quite scary, actually. Why is my king in such a shit position? Okay, come on. That's an annoying move, isn't it? This move and this move. Okay. So we have to let him take this. Okay, bishop somewhere like this makes sense. Check. What are you doing then, Williams? King here. Don't like that square. Okay, but I don't know what else to do. Let's do it. King f1 really is not a nice square. Here, he takes here. And then here, bishop f5 is like checkmate, so it's better than that. Takes, I have to go king f1, but I really want to keep this one available, but I don't see any options. So takes king f1, and then I have ideas and knight takes d5. So this is kind of what I'm relying on, basically. This knight d5, my knight frees up, and the position is, of course, incredibly complex. Now, if he plays this move here, obviously the knight is a goner. I don't know if I play queen here, or if I castle and sack the piece like that. And of course he's making me bloody decide. Now castles is the move that I kind of want to play. But do I have anything after takes? I mean, maybe not. This knight is lost. It's a goner. Say goodbye. Okay, so we're going to castle. And we're going to pretend that I know what I'm doing here. That I've got lots of compensation. I have to take with the rook. Or do I? Is it now time to come in with this? Can I do anything clever with my knight? Oh, it's so complicated, but I don't really see what I'm doing here. Okay, so yeah, here takes e4. I don't see how I'm getting anything here. Queen d3, he takes. This queen is so annoying. Okay, come on. Is there anything? I can't see anything. I have to. Okay, I have to take here. Do I have anything? I don't think there's anything here, is there? Okay, I'm going to take, because at least it gives me rook here. But he's one move away from castling. Now here, and okay, this one, and if he castles, I'm sacrificing the whole house here. If he doesn't castle, I'm coming in here. I'm probably sacrificing on, okay, so rook here, probably the best move. And then I guess I'm taking here and taking here, crossing my fingers and praying. I assume that's normally the way I play chess. Cross my fingers and pray. Takes, pray. This is what I'm doing. My king kind of looks at, what a stupid position this is. But we're trying. Okay, oh my words. Well, we're coming in, obviously. Now I have to worry about this move, but if I take, he takes, king here, here. It's going to be, he doesn't believe that I'm doing anything scary here. Am I not doing anything scary? Well, I have to play it. I'm got my back against the wall. Now, if he takes here, h4, am I just getting mated there? I take here, king here, I take here. I have check. Okay, I'll have to come in. I have no choice. I'm a whole rook down, but we're the cowboy. Yeah. And we're probably only playing for a draw. I don't know, are we? Well, well, I don't know. I just don't know. This is a stupid position. Now, check. King h2. At least, and then, okay, so he comes in like Errol. And that is a damn good move. Okay, we threaten. And then comes Queen b7. He's found a great defense there. Bugger. And let's try and keep some threats to my g-pawn, but it doesn't look good. Is my g-pawn able to create enough threats here? Extremely unlikely. Okay, it looks bad in the hood. And he's found another good move. Okay. Interesting game, but he found that Queen b4. Could I have played anything after Queen b4? I don't know. Can't think of anything. Interesting game, that one. We're on 4 out of 6. We have to win on... Well, we don't have to do anything, do we? Interesting game, but maybe there was some chances there somewhere. Let's put that on the game review. That's the kind of game I enjoy, you know. Tactics everywhere. The position is mental. And, of course, it looks like my opponent played pretty brilliantly there, actually. He didn't give me any chances. Even though the game, you know, the computer says these kind of things, but for a human, well, you know, it's hard to know. So this is actually where I start to go wrong, around, you know, in this theoretical position. Immediately after knight e4. Fascinating game, actually. And again, this is why, yeah, knight d2. I actually know this from... I actually do know that knight d2 is an interesting sacrifice. That's a much better way to sacrifice a pawn, because the way it happened, it just seemed a bit dodgy. I'm just going to pause it because Charlie's up, so I'll say a quick hello before the next game starts. Yeah, okay, but let's have a look, because this, I thought it was very, you know, very entertaining. And this move, it looks really bad because of my pawn structure. But the point is, you know, if I can get this bishop out and get something here, you know, it's potentially very dangerous for him. So now he plays what I think is a great move. Because if f6, the computer maybe doesn't approve of this. But again, don't worry too much about the computer. I mean, I was going to go here. And the computer thinks he's defending after this move, which is like quite unbelievable. Because he has to move his king somewhere. And he's going to put his king on d6. What kind of human being would do this? So, for example, king f8, it shows... Look at this pawn structure. You'd never see something like this. I could even try to... Oh, come on. One thing that I had never done in my chess career. Let's see if it's possible. I go bishop here. One thing I've never done is castle and given checkmate. That is the ultimate. If anyone does that, they should basically have free reign of the city of chess.com. And this position is kind of crushing. But the computer says he can go here when I was going to give a check. And he goes here. I mean, and then he's winning. I mean, you do not see that line if you're a human being. It's impossible to see. So let's have a look. Queen d6 I thought was good because he creates a threat. He defends everything. Nice move. And then we play this one. Now queen g3 I go king f1. And he is doing well. But again, incredibly complex scenario. This move also seemed good. I've got to sacrifice. And now I took with the rook here. Rook takes c3. And... yeah, I mean, it kind of nearly works, but it doesn't quite work. And I took here, not to win a pawn, but to get rook here. So my rook comes in, and now this move seems to build the pressure up. He castles. He calculates this very well, doesn't he? Because, of course, this move looks scary, but he finds the only way to win. So, well played, my opponent. These younger players from Uzbekistan, they calculate so well. Because anything else, I have at least a draw. You know, it looks very tempting to take a pawn with check. I just slip my pawn there. But this is a brilliant way to win, where his queen defends everything. And I don't think there's anything I can do here. You know, I give a check, his queen comes back. I give a check, his queen comes back. So, well played to my opponent. But I actually kind of enjoyed that game because it was nuts. And we're still on 4 out of 6. So, we always have to play the birds because I do like a bit of birds action. And a big game here because if we get to 5 out of 7, 6 out of 8, we're doing incredibly well. So come on, let's go for it. Let's really try and concentrate and get the victory. I'm gonna play in standard fashion. I'm just gonna play a reverse classical Dutch. This move I never think is a good option for my opponent because why do you put the knight over here? My opponent's trying to counter by attacking this pawn, and this could be interesting because he hasn't got f6 because a knight here. I don't want to commit this pawn because it makes his knight look... It gives it some sense. So I'm trying to make this knight stupid. In a perfect world, I'd get these two moves in. But my next move may be f5, like queen d7 to cover e6, f5. And it seems like we just have a very interesting position. Now, can he take, check, king here and take this pawn? Maybe. Okay, so f5 now. Let's keep going forwards. Because again, I need this square. If he takes, I don't care. We're playing like the cowboy. We know that. If he takes, he opens up his king. I float my queen in. And the point of this move, we open up our bishop as well. Because our bishop wants to say, hello. Hello. Hello, horsey. Yes, because we like horses as cowboys. And we just want to float this baby in. Float this baby somewhere, take that one, swing the rook around, maybe bring the knight over like this, flick it in there, swing a rook over to this square here, put the king somewhere safe. Let's get some red on the board. Blue, whoa, we like a bit of blue. Maybe do some, no, I'm just getting carried away now. Okay, so my opponent having a big think here. Interesting position. He doesn't want to take this pawn because he's scared, and I understand that. I'm a scary guy. I'm a scary man. I'm not actually. I like a big teddy bear, really. And if he takes, I think we're just going to float it. We're bringing it in, like Flynn. And I'm not even calculating. I cannot be bothered to calculate here. I just cannot be bothered. Well, aren't we just floating it in anyway? I don't care. I'm not calculating. I refuse to calculate. Calculating is for good players. And I am just a floater. Yes, that kind of floater. We're floating him in. I don't know what I'm threatening here. I'm probably threatening absolute sweet jack all. Now, is he going to go there? Does that work? Oh, then I'm taking there. Okay, I'm going to have to calculate if he goes there. That'd be really annoying because I don't want to calculate. If he goes here, he wants to go here. He goes here. Oh, he's played it. He's bloody made me calculate. You bastard. I did not want to calculate. I really want to take this one. Really want to take it. Takes king here. I mean, I really want to play this, but I can't play it if it's absolute shite, which it might well be. I'm very good at playing shite. I've got options. Knight here, g5 is, and then queen here. That is just... But are you the cowboy or are... Oh, Williams, you know you're going to do something stupid here. Just calm the fuck down. This is a good move. This is a bad move. But I'm just getting drawn to it. It's like a fly to shit. And the shit is here. I'm getting drawn to the shit. Don't do it. The shit works. I've done it. Sorry. Oh, he's come back. Well, I thought this was not so shabby because at least I get a couple of pawns now. Okay. I survived. And he probably does a counter sack here and we get a game of chess. I should have gone knight e6. Clearly should have done that because now he's got maybe this one he can take there and I'm probably in trouble. But his king's weak, so I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Takes here. What do we do? This seems like a good move. Okay, he hasn't done any of that. So let's develop because pieces are nice and we would love to get that boy over there But we really... Oh, hello. Yes. This one has always been a problem. But okay, it's only a pawn. We come back and we're like, yeah, I don't care. I'm pretending I saw that move, which I didn't. Queen comes over here. He comes in with a check. Okay, I'm a little bit... Oh, fuck, a duck. What's he doing to me? Stop doing this to me. And, oh my god, he's playing brilliantly. And he's taking every goddamn piece in the board. Oh, fucking hell. That went so badly wrong. It looks so nice as well, didn't it? And I just literally dropped everything. Oh, what happened there? I was getting too excited. Had a great position. And, okay, well, we might as well take here. And take here. I mean, and check. What's the piece situation? It's only a rook now. And he's quite short time, isn't he? Okay, what do we do now, boys and girls? Could take here and... Okay, let's do this. This is like playing for a win. In a position where I should not be playing for a win, clearly. Okay. So I'm concentrating. How come the position is equal-ish here? What kind of world? What kind of illusion has happened? A very strange one. Oh, fuck a duck. He's mating me. I come back into the game and I fall... What? Oh, my words. Oh, man. Fuck. That was a roller coaster of absolute shit. I'm sure I was doing well there. Then, yeah, why did I get carried away? I think we know what we did wrong, basically. It was a very complicated game, so no point putting out too much computer. Let's have a look. Annoying one to lose. That could have gone either way, and it was madness. But I certainly got carried away with some tactics. And he found a very nice sequence of events. So around about here, I'm very happy with my position. It might not be sound, but I'm happy. Now, this position, again, very interesting position. He plays this move. And now, of course, I know that knight e6 is the right move to play. This is the move of a sound... A man of sound mind. Unfortunately, that is not me. This is a move... Yeah, this is just a good move. It just wins material. It's quite sensible. But this move just seems so much fun. And what I was calculating here was that he takes, I take here, and he has to take now because I'm going to take his knight. And now his king is coming out to play. And I actually wanted to play this idea now, but his knight's defending. So I would have played c3 here. My point being, if his knight now moves, which looks like the human way to play, I swing a Rooney it over. And all of a sudden, the computer sees my brilliance and it says, yes, you are a genius, my friend. But my opponent did not do this. He played g5. And I should be doing well after g5. Should be doing well. But I can actually just take on f8. I was too transfixed with sacrificing. Taking on f8. Sensible move because I'm attacking his queen. I forgot his queen is there. We need to win the next game, by the way. How many games we've got to go? 4. So we can get 8 points. Let's get 8 points. I always lose the last 3 now. We're not doing that. And I thought here I've got a load of play, but in actual fact, he's very, very active. And again, this position does not seem too bad, but there's this horrible idea here. And he played brilliantly. This is a brilliant move because it allows this check. And after here, he plays this check. And now he comes out with a series of unfortunate events for me. I have to lose every single piece. But it's somehow, somewhere, I think he just drops this piece with check. But he's so many pieces up, it doesn't matter. And we now go for this idea, for some reason trying to win. And of course, we are losing here. I mean, these pawns are really, they're pointless. If I had a pawn here or here, it's better, but double pawns, they don't count really for much. And this idea is you know, it's too strong with mate on h8 or e1. So well played to my opponent there. He played well. Another interesting game, but I should have picked that knight e6 move clearly. And we're on 4 points out of 7. So one more game, I think, till the break. These are the scores on the doors. One more game until the break, and 4 more games in total. So we can get to 8 points. I think we're sort of seeing stuff today, and we just need the tide to change a little bit now. So, let's hope we can sort the rest out. This is time to place your bets. Can I get 4 out of 4? I've actually got a bit of belief I'm going to get 4 out of 4 now. Unduly disillusional, clearly, but we're going for that 4 out of 4. And let's see what games are still going. There's a couple of games. One game still going on. It's probably some rook versus rook. Black trying to win this one. Look at that king. That king's going on a funny little adventure. What lovely play from black there. Should still be a draw, this. Should it? Maybe not. Maybe that pawn is gonna win the game. Actually, black's king is now in a bad situation, and I've no idea what's happening here. I'll just be honest. I've got absolutely no idea. Now the king can come out. King come out. Doesn't quite work. What a weird... This is quite a fascinating ending. And okay, they get a draw by perpetual there. Probably was always a draw, but very weird situation. You can see the black king coming here, the pawn coming here, and then black getting mated on the diagonal. So this is a must-win game if we want to have a decent tournament, and this is the last game before the third section, the last 3 rounds. There's a bit of a break after this one, and I said I was going to play Sicilian, so let's play the Sicilian. Okay, he's gone for the Grand Prix. He's gone for the, I don't know what you call this, the closed Sicilian, which I actually enjoy playing against because I'm going to throw Harry up the board. This is actually a main line, and now if I go here, he'll go g4. So let's flick this one in first, just to see what it'd do. And now queen here, his knight comes back. Now let's, if I go here, his knight comes back. What if I go here with the idea of using this square if his knight comes back? I don't know. Absolute, well, this is absolute mayhem again, isn't it? It's completely weird position. I want to play here, but then knight f2, and if I take, he takes here. And if I take, he just goes king h1. But after here, takes here. Did I have queen h4 there now? If I had a bit more time, I would certainly considered that. And actually, then h3, so it probably doesn't work. And if knight here now, I don't even know if this check is any good. But if knight here, maybe my bishop can slip in. Because his queen is unfortunate. Okay, so he's moved his knight in. Now this is critical. Let's do it. It looks the most interesting. I'm trying to open up this one, but of course my king is in the middle and his pieces can start to create threats. I'd be much more scared if his bishop had the g5 square, but he doesn't. If he takes, I'll probably take with the bishop because there's another piece comes in. Now if knight f2 now, pawn takes, knight takes, queen here, h3 doesn't work again. But if knight f2, maybe I come with a bishop or knight there. I don't know which one. Knight f2. Knight f2. I have knight e2 check now. King here. Pawn takes pawn. There's something brewing there, definitely. So knight here, check. King here. Pawn takes pawn. Knight takes g4. Rook takes h2. Knight takes queen h4. Oh my god, that is a gold core. That is simply brilliant. So of course it doesn't happen. And okay, so we're going to take here because we have this again. He can take here and go for a counterattack, but I kind of feel I'm a bit quicker now, right? If he takes here, this is beautiful. Queen takes g5. Queen takes g5. Knight e2. King h1. Kaplonk! Put that in your pipe and smoke it. And of course, he doesn't play it. God, it's so annoying when they play good moves, isn't it? So annoying. Check, he comes here. Otherwise it's mate. Do I have to play a normal move? Boring. Then takes. I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like he's maybe all right now. Somehow he's all right. Don't I have something good here? Takes here. And then I have this check. Okay, maybe we should take here. But then he has rook takes, check, takes, queen takes. Takes, rook takes, I take here. So this one, he wants to play queen takes, but I have knight e2. So I'm just trying to slow him up a little bit. And also I want this check. This is the tactic my opponent used against me in the last game, right? So I'd love to create some check, king here, check. So whoa! Let's party, my friend. Let's party like it's, I don't know, party time. What is going on? Now, if I take, check, queen takes, what is that? Now, if I take, he comes in. So if I check, he takes. Probably a brilliant move from my opponent. But if I probably takes, knight here, takes here. Okay, come on. There must be something here. Must be something. I do not believe there's nothing. So takes. That looks maybe the most dodgiest. Takes. Okay, so maybe I should just check here and be a bit more clinical. As clinical as you can be in this ridiculous situation with this bad boy coming in like my opponent did to me. Okay. And there are pieces flying all over the shop. This bishop, these knights. What is the material? Am I pieced down? I don't know. I can't. There's no point counting. So he goes here. What the flying hell is that? Probably a brilliant move. Am I getting mated here? Probably. But I have to take something. And I've no idea what's happening anymore. I want to get this pawn to e2, but my bishop is in the way. I'm threatening this knight. I think it's equal material. If he plays f3, let's just, okay, I've got a plan here. Just take things. Don't think. Take. Okay. Some interesting games this Title Tuesday, though. Okay, well, I have to take here. Now, look at this for a beautifully sexy move. If he takes, e2 is checkmate. So he goes here. And now we go here. Are we a piece up here? I don't know. Are we a piece up? I threaten his rook. He moves his rook back. Okay. I have to move my bishop now. Do we go knight here first? Okay. Let's stay up on the clock. Attack his rook. This one must be good. What is the material? I don't know. You don't calculate material in positions like this. You just don't calculate. Here. And then e2 becomes a threat again. Wow. E2. Wow. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Oh, let's not lose. Yeah, he's blitzing his... Yeah. Oh, yes, boy. Yes, boy. Yes, boy. Yes, boy. You ready? You ready?
Mate, fucker. Mate the 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 fucker. Mate.
Well, even though we didn't mate him, that was that was fun. We're having some fun games today, and we got to what, 5 points, and with just 3 games to go, we can still get a very, very good score. The game review is gonna hate this game. He's gonna say we're both idiots, but this is the kind of oh, look at that! What? 93%. I actually played like a legend. How could I mean, that is weird that I actually played some good moves there. I thought that was like, you know, maybe that was my Mona Lisa, as Gufeld would say. And there was some fascinating moments in this. I'll just take you through some of the brainwaves that were happening. Because this position was just brilliantly complex. And if you didn't follow the variations I was talking about, well, I don't blame you, because they're mental. And the first thing, I can't even remember what I was thinking here. The first thing I was thinking was, what happens if he takes here? Was I thinking this? No, I was thinking something. There was some beautiful line with this. What was I thinking here? I don't know. I've lost the plot. Okay. I was thinking... I can't remember now. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. This is like, it's just a rush of generally, and you lose your brain force in something like this. It all goes hazy. Well, I mean, this knight e2 is too strong, isn't it? So he has to take here. And now this move was very interesting. And now he played this very entertaining move, because he can't take with the queen, because knight e2 check wins his queen. So he wants me to take here, so we can take here with check. And there's only one move here. This is actually a brilliant idea. So I'm just trying to think what line there was a brilliant line I was thinking of around here. I'd love to show you it, but I honestly can't remember it now. Was it him taking here? Yeah, so maybe, yeah, this was the line I was thinking. I've got it. So I was looking at him taking here, which kind of seems natural, because he's getting his attack ready. But now I would have played, even if it's not a very good move, this one. Boom! Oh, I can win your queen, sir. Oh no, I've lost my queen. Check. Mate. King goes here. Boom! The eagle has landed. Ooh, bulakasha. Yeah, okay, so very interesting. And I think the right strategy was literally to take everything here. And even this position, I mean, this was probably a brilliant move as well, bishop e3. Because if he goes rook f2, I take here, and we're going to have some serious stuff going on against the rook. We're going to take that one, and I don't know. I mean, it looks good for me. Immensely complex. But now, I think it's easily winning for me. Especially here, because my bishops are too strong. And, oh, there was an even nicer move here. Oh, this would have been the creme. I can't remember the saying. This would have been the cherry on the cake. This was a good move. But look at this move. Can you see it? Oh. Ooh. 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 Look at that for a move. That is simply brilliant. And if he takes the rook, check mate. If he plays c3 in the game, his rook doesn't defend there. Check. He takes my bishop, and now his rook is discombobulated. So boom! Oh, that would have been sexy. Wow. Okay, the game went bishop takes here, and e2 is now checkmate, and we are pretty much winning this now. If he takes here, I take with a bishop. I couldn't. Only now am I like seeing how many pieces are on the board, and we've got a knight and a bishop for a rook, which is a pretty good investment when you've got a pawn on e3. So we are winning this one, and we attack his rook. And now we're threatening to switch things up, and he's obviously completely lost. And now I get the d4 square again, and this move is just too nice to refuse. e2 is checkmate again, so like if he went b3, checkmate. And after this one, obviously the eagle comes home, and Kablanc, sweet. Okay, so 3 games to go, and I think the last couple of weeks, I've lost my last 3 games. There's a potential to get 8 out of 8 here, which would be really bloody good. So let's see how the last 3 games... let's have some entertaining fun anyway. You remember, we are the cowboy, not the cow. This is the thing to remember. Cowboy, not cow. And the highs always come with lows. And my nemesis, Levy. This is what I don't want to see the name. It's there. Come on. Levy is a very strong player now. Clearly working very hard. Doesn't feel the pressure. But let's just try to play a good game. And what are we going to do here? Sicilian, Black Lion, or French? Let's go Sicilian. And he's going for A3. So I'm going to do the annoying, boring system. And this is all pretty normal. We get black again as well. I'm sure someone is just taking the piss. They're like, yes, bastards. Okay, right. Now let's concentrate. Levy's very quick as well. And this is the way that any sane man would play this. Attacking in all areas of the board. Now bishop here, F3. I kind of like, but then he's going to go G4. Do we try to start an attack, counter attack already? Or do we just put a stop to this with this? Let's go H5 and stop these ideas for now. Really want to get some kind of counterplay going. So maybe this is the playable way to do this. Or knight D4. Okay, knight D4. And you can see my whole... Oh, gotta... Come on. Get back into it, Williams. Come on. You can take Levy down. You can. Okay, right. Now, can we move in like this? In like Flynn? And I'm probably safe to castle here. We're both a bit hesitant about castling. Now, where does this knight move? Or do I try to do something tricky with this? Okay, we'll have to come back here. Not really what I wanted, but if he takes... I don't know if this position helps me or not with the pawn. We'll find out anyway, because I do have some queen things coming over. And castles... Okay, let's put the queen on b6. Makes sense. Expect we're now both going to castle. Now, is this pawn going to be a target? I don't know. I'm castling. Of course we're castling. And here, I blunder a pawn. It's called a sacrifice. We're going to try to get loads of play. How do we get loads of play here? We don't, do we? Fuck a duck, Williams. Not the best of moves there. Giving up that pawn for nothing. Oh, boy. Okay, so we just have to play this position. I mean, we have just blundered a pawn stupidly there. We didn't need to give a good central pawn away, but we're going to have to play this and pretend nothing has happened. Try to get some pressure against C2. And, I mean, I can't really go into what I'd normally do. And my opponent's finding, obviously, quite good moves. The knight's coming in. And because I've given up this pawn, I can't go E6. So, this is a bit of a travesty, this position now, I have to be honest. And I've royally fucked this up. Okay, so I can't think of anything else to do, so I'll hit this one. Knight comes into D5. It'd be problematic, but this is also pretty damn strong. And I can't see how I'm going to get any more pressure against this pawn. So he stopped everything. Queen come back. I mean, I'm just trying to stay out the way of knight F6, but what can I do here? It's a really unpleasant situation, this, I have to be honest. Any tactics I'm missing? Like knight takes here. Can't see that one working. What else do I play? I'm trying to maybe make something like this work, but it doesn't even work. Queen takes. And he's just trying to play for mate. Understandably. You're trying to mate the fucker. This is the only thing I'm trying to get working, but I can't even get this to work because of his bishop. Horrible situation. So, last ditch is, yeah, and now he's coming in like Flynn. Queen there was a major threat in the position. And what else can we do? We can't really do anything else here. I think we're just going down. And he's coming in on the dark squares here. Was that playable? No. I think my king is in serious doodah. Can't see anything to do here at all. This one coming. Or this one. And I've got 4 seconds as well. Not rosy by any means. Well, I mean, again, the time situation's terrible. Trying to get my queen back around. Oh, God. And probably the best position I've had all game. Probably. But it's still shit. And you can't play with this time. It's too much for me. Maybe Hikaru. That'd be interesting. Hikaru, this time situation. Would he be able to beat Levy in this time situation? Quite like to see that match. That'd be interesting. But we ain't going to see it in a moment. Okay, swapping off. And he does have a serious amount of material, unfortunately. So miracles rarely happen. And they ain't happening here, are they, son? They ain't happening here. So we're going to have to resign. Ah, there. The nemesis. And it's just not the pairing I want, you know. Because, okay. And we didn't really get many action there from that opening, which is, it's a tricky little opening. So let's just have a look. Because losing that pawn, it just destroyed my position, didn't it? Absolutely destroyed things. One of these days I'll get him, but Levy played very well. And it was quite early on where things go wrong. You can see, I mean, you know, played a good game. 3,000. He's good at this blitz chess now. So things start to go a bit wrong already around this point. So let's see where after knight d4 how I could have improved my play. So knight e2, and now yeah, this makes sense. This bishop is very strong. Just trying to get rid of the bishop. I'm trying to be a little bit too clever here. I was also thinking about knight h7. I think on a good day I would have played these moves a lot quicker, because this move doesn't have any sense, because you're just going to kick my knight away, and it's still not a terrible position, but my pawn structure is a little bit funny. And here I play a big blunder, just blunder a pawn. I've got to play e6 first. And if I play e6, it's just a game of chess, right? And I didn't really have any chances as soon as the pawn goes, because it's not just a pawn, it's this square here. And his knight just comes into the square, and there's nothing I can do about it. And I just don't really have any hold on the position. So now we're playing what we're playing for, 7 points. 7 points will still be a good score. And do we have any chances later on? Well, I don't. There's nothing I can do. The only weakness he's got c2. So I couldn't see any other plan except for pile up against c2. And as we can see, I never really get a chance to do anything. We defend the best we can, but I think he could have won quicker here. But he does a good enough job knowing I'm short of time. What was that last position? Just wondering, did I have any chances? I don't. I mean, I'm too much material down, realistically, aren't I? Always too much material down in all of these positions, and I don't have anything to attack. I was thinking, yeah, he's playing all the right moves. And my knight doesn't have a good square. Yeah, there's obviously no chances there at all. No chances in that position. So it was just a couple of mistakes there early on. That got me in trouble. I mean, I probably should grab this pawn, but it's never going to work, the time situation and everything else. So, and a couple of games going on. Let's put it on one of them. Okay, back row. How's back row getting on? He was a, well, he still is a great player, but in his youth he was one of the top players in the world. So he's up there with 8 out of 9. And who's Arton? I don't even know. Pranesh. Okay, great player. Hikaru on 8 out of 9. So there's a bit of a a bit of a challenge at the top for, as there always is, 2 rounds to go. And let's hope the next 2 we can do some good shit and try to get a good score. Come back. 1 more game to go here. So next game should start any second. Okay, well 7 points would be a good score. I don't think I've scored 7 for a while, so let's just try to aim for that. Now, I think I've tried most moves. Let's go to the English. I do like the English, and I tend to play the English quite a lot in classical games, so because there's not so much theory. And now I'm going to play this bloody line, and it's going to work. I'm going to remember the boar attack, GingerGM's latest DVD. If you want to learn about this, which I always forget, you can buy this course on GingerGM, 5-hour course. If you want a very interesting way to play against the Slav, and it is a very interesting way to play against the Slav. And this should be a little bit better for me already. It's like a good French defense with my structure as it is. And I can develop quite nicely behind the pawns. So I've got to be happy the way the opening's gone. Let's get castled and then try and mate the fucker. This is the kind of position where against Levy, it's something a bit more fun and attacking. Now I'd love to just sacrifice my way to victory here, but let's have a look. Here, here, here. Can we do some shit like that? Probably not, but I want to play it. I really want to play it. I'm angry. I could just play positionally and go for this. Okay, let's see what he does with the bishop. Now, if he gets rid of the bishop, his dart squares are very weak. So now, here, here, here. I'm very tempted to play. Takes. Okay, we're gonna play it. It looks like fun. I could just build up the position slowly, and try to win in a slow manner. But we still want to be the cowboy. Now this one he is defending, so we could go full steam ahead, but then I don't want to drop this one. So F5 must be natural. My screen says it's going to turn off. I hate it when it does that. So I've got to think in my head. My screen's turned off. Takes, 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 and then knight. Okay, then knight in. Let's do that. Come on, let's go for the kill. No messing around. Straight in. And if he takes, how are we following this up? We'd love to get the queen over here, but my knight's in the way. So this move has stopped our knight coming in, because he can take it. He's got to take it. I don't know why he's thinking it. He's got to take it. Oh, really? Surely he can't do this. It's far too slow. I mean, just F6 looks crushing, but let's do F6, because his king is now a real target. F7 and H7 are targets, and the problem is he hasn't really created any counterplay in this position. He doesn't have anything against his pawn structure, and I've got simple ideas like my knight coming here, maybe swapping the rooks off, getting my queen down, and obviously I can even just grab a pawn here. This is the kind of position that I wanted in the last round. I didn't want that stupid Sicilian. Why didn't I play the black lion? Why didn't I do the French defense? Next time I'll do the French defense. Okay, so I think we want to get the queen in, and this looks like one way to get the queen in, to try and bring it into this square. So he's going to come here. Now, you know what we want to do? We want to mate the fucker. Can I go queen there, knight takes rook, bishop g6? I'm going for it. So I'm giving up a whole rook. If he takes it, bishop g6, pawn takes, and we mate the fucker. But what else? This is quite big. It's quite a big move. So he's got to move his bishop, so his king comes here. I'd love to sack my queen here, but I've got bishop take. I didn't even see I've got bishop takes h6 as well. I've got these two moves. These two moves are killer. My pawn structure's too strong. This is way too powerful. So we can still get 7 points this week. Come on, 7 points. You lose to Levy is. I mean, would you take 10 points, Simon, but lose to Levy? Would you take 10 out of 11 but lose to Levy? Hell no. Hell no. I don't think there's any way you can defend here, right? I mean, okay, so we take here. And, I mean, he starts running, but I don't believe this king. I'm just going to munch him like it's munching season. I mean, why not? Let's munch him. Let's just keep munching him. Okay, his king gets back. I can still fuck this up, can't I? So we'll try. Let's just get the rook out of the way. I've just dropped a bishop. Good start, Simon. Why don't you take that first? I can still, yeah, of course I can. I'm still doing very well here. Because his king's dodgy. My rook's coming in. But I didn't really need to give him a whole piece for nothing. That was a little bit silly. Let's hope he goes bishop d7, queen d6, checkmate. So I've just given him a donation. Why did I give him a donation? Man, sometimes I just wonder about... I got very complacent there, basically. Very complacent. Okay, so we have to win this game again. But then he takes there. My queen's in a shit square, isn't it? Is it? I don't know. Let's put that there. Giving him a piece for nothing. Stupid man. You stupid, stupid man. Okay, now I'm like... Why did I do that? Okay, but these pawns are not even that good. They're not even, like, very good. Because they're blockaded. So, am I even better here? I don't even know. Okay, is this kind of clever? Because his knight... I want to get my knight to this square. What is happening here? Now, obviously, I don't want to open this one up. Man, I've really flaffed this up. Okay, queen here. I don't know about this ending. I'm thinking I might have to try to get my knight into g6. Kind of crazy position, but I'm not sure I'm better. But I've got the time advantage here. Okay, so he plays this calm move. Okay, let's try this ending. Again, I don't know about it. And here, I want this knight to come here. This is what I'm wanting. If he takes here, then I guess I just move my bishop. These pawns don't seem so relevant. I can't really see it at the moment though. There's too many pieces everywhere. What's happening with that? Is he coming here? Checkmate. I don't know. I'm just moving because I don't know. Getting out of any back spanker. Okay. Oh man, I tried to take his knight. That was a mouse slip. Flapping heck. That was horrendous mouse slip by me. Did I have a rook there? I hope I didn't have a rook there. It feels like I might have had a rook there or something. What is happening? Check. Check. It's a lot of pieces now. Man, that is how to destroy a completely winning position, by being very complacent and just assuming the game's going to win itself. Biggest mistake in chess is to relax. It's such a... You never find anything... I don't think you find anything like chess, which... Oh, I mean, there are. I mean, when I did that boxing, it was quite pressurised, I'll be honest. But in general, chess is just so... It's so... requires so much heavy concentration. Now, let's just see how I could have won it a little bit quicker around this point. One game to go. We're on 6. So if we win the next one, 7. Good score. And here, this was a nice move, right? Because the point is, if he wins my rook, I have 2 very nice moves. But I think I would have played this one, because this move looks a bit more like attractive. We give up another piece. And there's not really much you can do to stop checkmate here. So he plays bishop a4, so his king can try to run away. But now I just mop up like everything. And I'm wondering now if I should allow his king to come back, because his king's in a very bad situation. Maybe bishop b5 the computer gives, and then I take here, and then I take here with a knight check. That would have been stunning. This can't be too shabby. But why did I not take this first? Because we had the same position, but I've had like in theory an extra like least piece, right? Because he has to take back, and these pawns will win the game. But no, I decided to give him a donation, and even after I give him a donation, I'm completely winning. But I started to see how badly I could play. This was not good because pawns aren't really going anywhere. I'm still playing it horrendously. I forget that knights move sideways here, and I can take that bishop. It's not. I don't really see the point of it. I'm still doing well. At some point, though, I don't know if I am doing so well. decide to get the queens off. Yeah. Okay. So maybe I'm just always winning according to the computer. The reason I moved my king is I could see a scenario where he traps my king on the back rank, and I just don't want to fall for that. So I just give my king this square it can escape to. And of course, I meant to go king takes knight here, but I mouse slip. Unbelievable. And now, because I'm annoyed about the mouse slip, I miss that I can win a piece, so I come back. Why do I come back? Well, I'm transfixed to moving this knight, but I don't want to allow him to take the pawn with check, so what is happening here? I thought he'd won a rook there, because why else would he move his knight there? So I thought I just blundered a rook in this position. This is how bad things are going. And now I get my plan at last, and I think even though I'm a rook down, I'm going to win something, but I'm not a rook down. And e7 would have been very pretty, but obviously we're winning here because my pawns are too big potatoes. And potatoes become vodka. And those two potatoes are going to very shortly... Well, there's one bottle of vodka on f8. And the other pawn is shortly going to become another bottle of vodka. And 2 bottles of vodka is a very bad hangover, but a lot of fun in the process. One more game to go. And after that disappointing loss, we will see. Why do people bother playing this position on? I don't know. We're going to see if we get to 7.7 out of 11 against some of the best players in the world in a hard tournament. They're all titled. Is a good score. So I don't have to hang my head in complete shame if we get to that. Is white going to checkmate black? I mean, black's... Yeah, okay. At last, the 50 move draw comes in. And my pain is nearly over. The suffering is nearly at an end. There's one more game to go. And what are we going to play? I think we played every move, haven't we, pretty much? We haven't played G4. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Harshvardhan GB. Put the prob in your pipe and smoke it. Okay. Come on, Harry. Okay, and look at this. We've transformed the position over here. Now, okay, I mean, I guess this is just like a like normal-ish. It's not normal, is it, at all? His knight can't develop. I'm playing like a Queen's Gambit, but we've got this shit going on over here. Very peculiar. But we like peculiar things. Peculiar things are surely the most fun things in life, aren't they? Like that peculiar crow who I mean, something about crows that I really like. I don't know, that I get... Whenever I see a crow, I always give it a salute. I think that's because one crow's bad luck, but if you salute it, it's not bad luck. Why do I do that? I don't know. Very strange behaviour. What am I doing here as well? This is my idea. 2 crows is good luck, but I love seeing crows. I think crows are magical animals, and I love the original film, The Crow, but I'm not seeing the new Crow film, and I just refuse to pay to see the new Crow. I do kind of want to see it though, but I can't pay. This position is also pretty damn terrible because he's won a pawn and I can't get my pieces out. So what are we going to do? Well, let's just try and get the pieces to the best squares we can, and I hope something turns up. But his king is pretty safe there, so I'm going to flick this one in to try and again distort the position. Now I'm going to go here because we don't want him castling. If he goes here, then f6 is sometimes a possibility. So he exchanges the bloody queens off. Bastard. And takes. It's a bit annoying, that, but okay, we'll live with it. Now check here. His knight covers it. I have to move that bishop anyway, so we'll give a check. And I just don't really see enough compensation at the moment. Now do we go here? We want to go here, but then he comes here. Do we take? Okay, there should maybe be something. This knight is good. Takes, knight takes. and play against his king, or do we go here and meet? Okay, I think this is the way to go. We have to unbalance it, and this does allow possibilities on the dark squares and possibilities against f7. So this is probably my best punt in the position, and he's now coming back here to defend that punt. Okay, well, let's open up the dark squares, get a pawn in the meantime, and I think it's equal in material now, but my pieces are not impressive, it has to be said. I want to get a rook to c1. This move runs into a check, this move runs into a check, so I don't see anything else except for castling and trying to get a rook to c1 like this. And now my bishop is also a bit wonky doodah. Have to defend it. Not nice, this. And he's grabbed the pawn. Okay. Now, if I go here, rook c2, knight here. Let's try this. If I can get in, it's game on. If he goes rook here, knight here, rook here, king f1. So I thought that pawn was a little bit risky of him to grab because he clearly had a good position and he didn't need to do it. So he's trying to... Now this is... Takes... I don't know, or do I go rook here? Then everything takes... Okay, let's go rook here. Let's keep the activity. I want to get this in. So if he grabs the pawn here, my knight comes in. And I don't want to allow his king into the centre, really. Okay, so now I can take, and if his king comes in, now I have this check, because he's not covering the square. I want to get my rook in, so I need to get the knight out of the way. Really want to get my rook to the 7th rank, so even if he takes that pawn, I get access in to the 7th rank. And this will always leave me with some compensation. So the big idea, move here. We don't mind losing a pawn, whether it's the pawn on e3 or something else. Okay, so we keep pushing. And he's covering that square at the moment. Okay, so we don't want to lose f6. f6 is important to our plan. So we've got to defend f6. What do we do next, though? He's defended everything. Rook here, sacrifice. He's covered the whole shebang. I'm down on time, so I've just got to move. He's played this very well, have to be said. Now he wants this pawn. But as we know, if he takes that pawn, I get some counterplay. My time is shit. Okay, so I'm going for this. If he takes, my rook comes in. I've got to get my rook in. This is the thing. So... time and position, maybe. I could have taken that anyway. Fuck. Had more time, I'd have seen that, but we can do it now. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Come play my game and I'll test ya. Psychosemantic out of concern. Oh, hello. Hello, baby. He's got to go here, isn't he? He's escaping, just about. How did he escape this one? What have I done? What have I done? I thought I was winning this easily, and now I've... Come on, concentrate, you bastard. Why are you playing like an idiot all of a sudden? There's no need, is there? No need. No need to play so badly sometimes. I still want to checkmate him. Come on! Put that in your pipe and smoke it, son! Can he stop it? Can he stop it? No, he can't. That's harsh. And that's a pun, my friends. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Tell all your crazy friends about this channel and get them to watch it. Don't tell any of your sane friends about it, or your babies or your kids, because it ain't for them. Last week I had someone moaning about me acting like a 6-year-old girl because I patted my cat. He can fuck off. And yeah, if you don't like it, go. But sorry, a bit of aggression there. It's unfounded. I love 99.9% of you. You mean a lot to me, and you are my chess buddies, my chess friends, my good friends, and yes, I do love you all, and thank you so much for watching. It does mean a lot, and if you've got this far, hopefully you've enjoyed it as well. So cheers, goodbye for now. Time to chill out after that random Title Tuesday. Kablonk.